Let's break down this marking sheet and see what happened. So the very first thing we see here is he picked up a grade 2 for his hand signals. This means that he got 3 or more of his hand signals wrong. If you want to see the full video for the hand signals, you can click this link above. Next we see he picked up 2 grade 2s for position on the straight. So remember, correct position on the straight is we should be center left, away from the center line. Or as it says in the RSA marking sheet guidelines, reasonably close to the left hand side of the road. The most common reason why people generally get a grade 2 for position on the straight would be for doing this, and it will be driving too close to the center line. Another reason why you could get a mark for position on the straight would be doing the reverse of that and driving too close to the footpath. But usually it's when people drive at the center line. And I'm going to talk about this again in a few minutes. Another reason why you could pick up a grade 2 fault for position on the straight would be if we see section C where it says a driver waves in and out unnecessarily around intermittently parked vehicles. So remember, when we're driving down a road, if there's loads of cars parked to the left, we don't weave in and out. As long as it's safe to do so, we're out, we're straight past, and we're keeping our doors with. Section D in the marking sheet guideline says where an applicant drives for a distance in the incorrect lane. So remember, on a road with 2 or more lanes, correct position for us is in the left-hand lane, provided the left-hand lane isn't a bus lane or a hard shoulder. Next we see he picked up 1 grade 2 for position at roundabouts. So as it says in the RSA marking sheet guidelines, where an applicant intends to take any exit between 6 and 12, correct position for you would be in the left-hand lane on approach and around the left-hand side of the roundabout. The approach should normally be in the right-hand side if we're taking any exit past 12. Next, I want to show you some common mistakes people generally make for position on roundabouts, and I want to say thank you so much to FlexiDrive for letting me use his really cool drone footage.
I'm going to go straight on second exit. As you can see, I'm approaching it wrong. And come on. And then the signals come off. Okay, so at the roundabout, I'm approaching it wrong as well. I should be on the right hand side and off the left hand side. Let's make sure it's safe. Pardon me, let this guy go. And it's safe to come on. Check the junction, check the other junction over there. And then I'm going wide round. Back in again. Stops and come off. Too close to the left.
Next we see he picked up 1 grade 2 for position turning right. So remember, when we're turning right, we have to be driving in a straight line up to the turn, just to the left of the centre line. And we want to steer when the front of our car gets in line with the centre line on the road we want to enter. So as we can see here on the RSA marking sheet guidelines, reasons why you could get a mark for position turning right will be A, cutting the corner, B, the reverse of that, swan necking the turn, C, turning from the left hand side of the road, D, turning from the incorrect lane, and there's so many other reasons why you could be getting marked. Next we can see he failed his test and he picked up a grade 3 for position stopping. So as we can see in the RSA marking sheet guidelines, there's a few reasons why you can be marked for position stopping, but usually when you see a grade 3, it's because the applicant has hit the curb when they were asked to pull in on the left. If you want help passing your driving test, click the link in the description, fill out the form, and we'll be happy to help. Next we can see he picked up 1 grade 2 for observation moving off. So if you've seen any of my videos before, you know I always say GOSHO, gear, observation signal, handbrake, observation. So the main reason why people generally get marked for observation moving off is for not checking their blind spot before they move off from a park position. Or another reason why you could get marked is if you do your mirror signal and there's another road user coming up from behind and we leave our signal on as the car is approaching from behind. If we see somebody, we either don't signal or cancel the signal. And another reason why you can get marked for observation moving off would be if there's a vehicle coming up from behind and we pull out in front of them when the tester felt we should have waited. To see the full video on moving off from a park position, watch this video here. Next we see he picked up 2 grade 3s for observation changing lane. So twice he failed his test for doing something dangerous, changing lane. To get a grade 3 for changing lane, I would imagine there was, say, a car approaching in the lane behind him and he pulled out in front of the car and the tester felt it was very dangerous that the car was too close. Another reason why you could get a mark for changing lane would be simply just not looking at all and just moving into the lane. And I'm going to touch on that again in a moment when I go down to signals. So remember, when you're asked to change lane, we mirror, signal, and when we know it's safe to do, when we think it's safe to do so, a little look beside you and then you move in. If you're enjoying the video and you're serious about passing your driving test, why not join my YouTube membership, where I break down the full marking sheet guidelines and I show you exactly what the tester is looking for. I've made it seriously affordable and you will be supporting the channel so I can make bigger and better videos. Click the join button on my page. Next we see he picked up 1 grade 2 for clearance or overtaking safely, and it was for other traffic. So I don't really see this mark too often. Usually we get a mark for clearance when we're overtaking stationary vehicles. Applicants don't usually leave a door's width. In this case, if you remember what I said about position on the street when he could have been driving in the middle of the road, this could mean that he was driving in the middle of the road, there was an oncoming vehicle, and the tester felt he was too close to other traffic. Another reason why you could get marked for clearance with other traffic would be, imagine we're on a road with 2 or more lanes and we're over to one side of our lane too much and we're right beside a car right beside us. So I would definitely say this clearance mark would be related to one of them position on the straight marks. Next we see he picked up 4 grade 2s under signals. So the first one we see here is he picked up a grade 2 for signals moving off. So again, making sure you do GOSHO, gear observation signal, handbrake observation. In some cases, your signal could knock off because you haven't put it on correctly. If you do hear it knock off, just make sure you put it on again because we need the signal as we're moving off. Next we see he picked up a grade 2 for signals change in lane. So remember earlier I said he got a grade 3 for observation. That could be related to one of them. In one case, the tester could have asked him to change lane and he probably just went like this and just moved without looking or without signaling. If you notice that the section is grey after where it says grade 2, that means you can't really fail your test for signals changing lane. There's no option to get a grade 3. But just remember, when we are changing lane, mirror, signal, when it's safe to do so, look beside you and move in safely. Next we see he picked up a grade 2 for signals, cancel promptly. So as it says in the RSA marking sheet guidelines, it just says where an applicant does not cancel the signal after use. So if you use your signal, normally when you straighten up, the car will knock the signal off. But if it doesn't, make sure you manually turn your signal off when you're finished using it. Next we see he picked up a grade 2 for signals misleading. So as it says in the RSA marking sheet guideline, this would be having your left indicator on when you're turning right or vice versa. Or another reason would be if you signal to overtake a parked vehicle on the left and your signal stays on and you drive past a right turn, when your signal sort of look like you are going to be turning right. Next we see he picked up a grade 2 for progress on the street. This simply means the tester felt he was just too slow driving along a straight road. It could have been that he didn't know the speed limit and he was being very conservative with what he was doing because he wasn't sure. Or it could have been that he just wasn't comfortable enough to get it up to the speed limit on the road he was on. But there's a few reasons why he could be marked for this. Next we see he picked up a grade 2 for progress turning left. This could be turning left into a side road or left at a T-junction, and the tester felt he was just too slow. Remember, when you're coming to a T-junction, once you position and you look right and left, if you know it's safe to do so, don't be shy, keep the car going. To see a full video for progress and observation turn left at a T-junction, watch this video above. Next we see he picked up a grade 2 for progress at traffic lights. This means that the tester felt he was just too slow getting off the line at a green light. If you want to watch a more in-depth marking sheet video, you can watch this video here where I break it down with all videos. Also, if you have your test soon, make sure you know your signs and your questions by watching these few videos here. Remember, like, subscribe, join the membership, and I'll see you in the next one.